The following program is a collection of idiots talking about happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, platform, or whatever network they are on. There may be some out-of-pocket things said on this show, because this is how we talk to each other. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Your homies. The 3 Count Podcast. P.S. Please do not sue us.
It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. Chaz Evans here, checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count.
Right there, right there. Hit him with the punchline. Yeah. Yo. It's your boy, your cousin. Oh, wait. That's not mine. It's the Air Force veteran intel specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood red dog. And, I'm clearly raw unstoppable in this whole thing. And if you do not, you did not. You know what you did. Do not think for a minute, sir. I'm not paying attention, sir. This man right here took everything off what I had planned today. That is not happening. Not for a minute. That's not going down. There's no way that you're gonna take this from me. That is mine.
Just let you know that's a picture of Chaz like 5 minutes ago.
That was 5 minutes ago. Right before he stuck his finger in the light switch. The electrical socket. Chaz, you ain't changed. Oh.
I was actually sitting next to Lucifer. Actually, we were calling it. I might have interfered.
Hold up, Chaz. We are clearly experiencing some difficulties as we have been told that they cannot hear you at all.
That's weird. We can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear you, but apparently nobody else can. So
That's weird.
That is 100% weird.
Maybe you don't want to hear Chaz.
maybe that's what it is. He said, so he was started off. He's like, yo, hold on, let me check my other devices. It's not, this there. He's like, I can hear Clit, I can hear Red Dog, I can hear Chaz. Screenshots that pic of you. He's like, I can hear Damien, can't hear you. Chaz mic not working. What's up, Brian? Apparently no one. We can hear you.
I can hear you.
And that's a bad thing. Yo, Mr. Golden out here being a fool for this.
Yeah, he is.
Also, big shout outs to Brian Bayside being in the chat right now too, because
Appreciate it.
yeah, Focus Pro Wrestling. Shout outs to Focus Pro. They got a bunch of shows coming up, especially in February. They got a couple in March, so they got some big things popping, especially when I'm out here running around doing talent search for them too. So big shout
By the
outs.
way, I'm actually
Damn, Joe, you
damn.
just
Okay.
yelled right into that. Was loud as fuck, boy.
By the way, how dare you say that it is our fault that we did not do temp check? Fuck you.
Yeah, you the one out here like, oh man, do the whole, pushing, pushing Barry. We're gonna do this new segment that
All
we're not
right,
gonna give you any details on. Just do this thing.
right, ass. Yeah, well,
Nope, nothing, nothing.
you can't hear you.
Still can't hear you, so you might want to switch that over.
Yeah, you
Nope.
might want to switch it back.
Yep. That's crazy though.
All right, try again.
Get Chaz a dry erase board or something.
I support it.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, that was even louder than last time.
That was.
We'll wait for the chat to say.
Wait for chat to
Chat.
let me know if they can hear me.
Give a thumbs up or give a middle finger to Chaz and let him know that you can hear him.
Because if you can hear me now, then I'm gonna redo this whole cold open and the whole intro
Again?
over.
Oh, of course. Damn it. Yes, I guess you are heard.
Oh.
Here we go. Yeah, I guess we're doing it again.
We're doing it again!
He said, unfortunately, we can hear you. Wait, we doing the whole thing over again?
We're doing the whole thing over.
Oh,
now that
cool.
everybody can hear me, run me my circle.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's do this.
All right, cool, because I wrote down my cold open this time. I was prepared. Because I wrote it last week, but I couldn't be on. So, all right, yo. You listen, you're tuned into the 3 Count Podcast, Chaz and Friends debate show, all right? The home of bold takes and hot debates about all things wrestling. Big topics, all right? Has the WWE reached cultural level of the cultural level of the NFL and the NBA, or are we still in our own wrestling bubble? And also, we're going to talk about this TNA WWE partnership and what's the deal and who gets the better side of that. All that and many more. Oh, yeah, also, we're going to do temp check because they didn't do it last week, regardless of if I said or not. But we're going to do it today, all right? And Damien's dumbass of the week, but that's always here. That's there. But come on, run that intro right back one more time because it's so cool.
The following program is a collection of idiots talking about happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, platform, or whatever network they are on. There may be some out-of-pocket things said on this show, because this is how we talk to each other. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Your homies. The 3 Count Podcast. P.S. Please do not sue us.
It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. Chaz Evans here, checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count. And your boy real chicken.
All right, so I'm not going to run through all that again. Everybody knows everybody.
But
But
I
I
am
am
going
going
to
to
introduce
introduce Twitch.
Wow.
What about this guy?
Did you not hear what I said? I am going to introduce Twitch.
No, we ain't listening to all that.
But after you interrupted my introduction on top of that, you ass.
Nope. Oh, yeah, but you're a
It's
staple.
too late.
Twitch
You had
is-
your
listen,
chance.
but he's still he's still the rookie here, and he gets all the accolades. Just once he gets a year in, then I can start disrespecting him in the intro. Anyway, introducing last but certainly not the least, ladies and gentlemen, he's our residential friend Durst. He is the only Grays that matters. He is your house of Lord Twitch Grays.
Yay. Hey, Tony. Free
Free
Ray
Ray
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Facts.
He said, listen. I said if somebody brought a free Ray Phoenix sign, I'll be happy. I'm happy. All right. So let's get through all this intro and all the shenanigans and all the things I'm required to do. All right, look, make sure you hit that follow button on all your favorite social media platforms. All right, whether that's Instagram, Twitter, what else? X, Rumble, YouTube, TikTok. We're all there. 3Count. 3Count Pod _ on Twitter /X and 3Count Pod everything else. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button on YouTube because we definitely got a new rollout of content coming. So we definitely want you to be locked in when we drop new content. Make sure you buy some merch. Okay. Pro Wrestling Tees / 3Count Pod, the number 3. Don't you dare type in THREE. You're not going to find us. Make sure you buy some merch so we can have more cool stuff. And yeah, go buy the 3Count Podcast merch. Seriously. Also, foryourwear.com. Go to collections. You'll find Red Dogs merch. You'll find Pure Ignorance merch. Definitely go support your 2 favorite independent wrestlers. Okay, that's us.
Yep.
Okay, not anybody else. Don't care how good they are. And they probably are good. And they might be better than us. But we're still your favorite. So buy our merch. foryourwear.com foryourwear.com. Go to collections. Scroll down. And yeah, go pick one of us. Let's roll this out. All right. This is the real news that you need to pay attention to. So, new content schedule rollout. All right. So, me and my good friend over there, Red Dog, we have figured out a smart and efficient way to give you all of our content throughout the week. So, be very mindful when I tell you these things, okay? Because I'm not going to, I will say it again. I'll be saying it for the next month to remind you all. But starting next week, okay? Or this week. Anyway, so here's the content spread. So Sundays, we're going to stick to Sundays for your live debate. So Chaz and Friends is sticking to Sundays at 6 p.m.
He said Scrappy too. Oh shit!
It's okay, Dean. You can handle my light work.
Okay, I'm just going to let him continue going through.
Okay.
I think we're done.
Yeah, that's all.
You're done now?
That's all.
Okay. All right.
You could have did that. I know you were gone, but you could have did that during the other announcement parts.
Yeah. So schedules. Yeah, we have an intro schedule. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So look, Sundays we're sticking with Sundays for your live debate show. That's not changing. All right. Instead of getting the replay the next day. All right. This also affects our podcast listeners, so definitely be mindful. So look, instead of getting the replay for today's show on Monday, that's coming out on Tuesday. Instead, we're going to drop at least one of the topics or a segment of the debate show on Monday, so that you're getting at least a preview especially for those who didn't catch the live show. You're getting a preview of what you missed. Then on Tuesday, we will drop the replay of Chaz and Friends. So you get the debate show on Tuesday instead of Monday. For my podcast listeners, I know you're kind of like, well, that sucks. Sorry.
Then you should have checked us out live.
Exactly. Just watch the show live. But yeah, Tuesday you'll get the replay. Now, on Wednesday, for my now entering the ring enthusiastics, because there are a lot of you out there, instead of Tuesdays, your interviews, we're kind of pushing you back. You're going to get a clip or at least a segment of the interviews on Wednesday. All right, so Wednesday you're going to get at least a good chunk. Don't worry, we're not going to cheat you. But you're going to get a good chunk of the interview on Wednesday. On Thursday, Damien's bringing back his live nightly news show, all right, the Villains Lounge, on Thursday nights. That will be live, okay? So, Thursday nights, Damien, what time are you thinking?
What do you think, Twitch? 9 o'clock, your time?
Sure.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so be on the lookout on the social media platforms. But as of right now, so lock in 9 o'clock on a Thursday. That's right after TNA. So right after Impact. go check out the Villains Lounge. They'll probably talk about what happened on Impact right after, so you'll get live reactions there too, along with the news on Thursdays. That's live. Now, on Friday, depending if their show is interesting enough, you'll get a clip in a segment. On Friday morning, you'll get a segment, well, depending. That's not an everyday thing because it's a quick turnaround time. But Friday, at some point, we'll try to get you a segment or clip of the Villains Lounge so you can see what you missed over the live.
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn.
Wow. So so Friday you're gonna get a quick clip, something that's
Am I
going
back?
on. Yeah, you're back.
Am I back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're back.
Okay. On Saturday, you will get your interview show on Now Entering on Saturday. So I know that was a lot of information to take in. So the main meat and potatoes of it is this: Sunday is your live debate show. All right. Wednesdays you'll get a segment of the interview show. Thursday is the live Villains Lounge, and Saturday is interviews. So your 3 dates: Sunday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay. If you're my live viewers.
Why you sound
Okay.
so far away from
Does everyone
everything?
understand? All right. We all good? Thumbs
Yeah,
up. Thumbs
yeah.
up, everybody, because
Yeah.
I think I lost audio. I've lost audio.
Yeah, I
You
got
lost
it.
your audio. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
You
I
sound
heard
far, far away. You sound
Yeah.
like
Other end of
King.
the hallway.
Yeah, you sound like you far, far away.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There
Wow.
we go.
How? Why? This
I
whole
don't-
fucking time, off air, you could have like had these on. You could have joined Team Headphone, but you was like, nah, I gotta be better than them.
I didn't know they were connecting.
Oh, wow.
This
I got a phone call, so
well,
that
now you're
it
connected.
messed it up. We weren't going through it. Anyway, I hope everybody heard that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one point that you guys need to know: Sunday you're gonna get the live show. Thursday you're gonna get the live show for the Villains Lounge, and then Saturday you guys are gonna get Now Instant Ring going forward, and you guys will get a bunch of clips and stuff like that throughout the week. So just pay attention,
Absolutely.
subscribe to all of our stuff. You guys will see it, everything that we're gonna have for you guys. So just go check it out. You guys will have a blast with it all, and we hope we put out fun content for you guys to check out too.
And last but certainly not the least, next Saturday. I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, just argue. So look, next Saturday, the Royal Rumble is next week. We will be doing a Villains Lounge watch along. So be there for that. Yeah, that's everything. So
right.
look, Sundays, Thursdays,
You act like these people
Saturdays.
are stupid.
He really does.
You'd be surprised.
You act like our fans are dumb. Oh,
Hey,
wow.
There's a certain number of them, okay, that are. Okay, go. You don't see what's on Twitter.
Damn, that's crazy. Are you gonna be on the live stream?
I will be.
Okay. There you go.
Wow, the first one I missed in like what 3 months. Sorry, my kid wanted to watch it, and I wanted to give
watch it
him
too?
my attention.
So are you going to be the live stream
Gracious.
for the Rumble?
What'd you say?
You gonna be
Are
there
you
for the
going
Rumble,
to
right?
Yeah, you going to be there for the Rumble?
Am I gonna be there for the Rumble?
Yeah.
I should be.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, that's not.
You gotta do at least the Rumble. You gotta do Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
Well, yeah, I always do the Big
Minimum.
Four.
Big
I'll
Five.
be at the Rumble one.
Big Five. Money in
Oh
the
right,
Bank.
Money in the Bank.
And yeah, Big Five, Money in the Bank. You have to be there.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And Elimination Chamber in Toronto.
That's gonna be.
Why Elimination Chamber?
Because I'm
It's
making
in
you because it's a
Toronto.
road to WrestleMania. Duh.
That is true. You should be at all the ones for Road to WrestleMania.
You
Yeah.
should.
What is Elimination
Should be.
Chamber?
So,
Ooh.
So
And it's
we-
in Australia. Well,
it's in
I might have no
Toronto.
choice because it's
Did this
the
man
ones that are super
Toronto.
early in the
Is
morning.
there-
I'm
Yeah.
on.
Is there a
that-
Toronto?
dumb.
Is there a Toronto in Australia?
Right?
Is it not in Australia? Which
No.
one's in Australia?
Wow.
Hey yo.
Ain't
Get
it?
out of here, yo.
Anyway,
Point.
let's go to Temp Check.
Hey.
Let's go.
No, shut up. Give me this Chaz. Give me the intellectual Chaz back. Toronto, Australia. This is why we
IQ
get made fun
100.
of. This is why
I
we
forgot
get
it was in
made fun of.
Toronto. I forgot.
No, that's
Clearly.
not
Isn't
the
there a
point.
show in Australia though?
No.
It was
AEW.
last year.
Though that was last year. That's why I was like, Australia. They had a show in Australia. There's a reason why Australia is in my brain.
I know. I'm never gonna let you live down the fact that you said Toronto, Australia is a
I
thing.
didn't say Toronto, Australia.
This is
I never
why.
said Toronto.
This is why people make fun of us. No, because I said it was in Toronto, and you was like, "It's in Australia." I'm like,
Oh, I didn't
how
hear
did
you
we
say
miss
Toronto at
this?
all. I didn't hear that at all.
Man,
Of course
Oops.
you didn't.
Oops. All right. Temp check. For those of you who don't know what temp check is, it's the oldest segment next to Damien and Friends. Like the only segment that's older than temp check is the 10 count questions.
yep, that's true.
So look, me and my friends, we give you our hottest and our coldest wrestlers going into this week, and then we give you our match of the week. All right, start us off, Fred Durst.
Oh, can you turn your mic down some?
Yeah, you're coming in extremely hostile.
Yeah, you are. I want to punch you right now. like you making me agitated.
I want to buy you a geographical map, but that's
Oh my goodness. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
good.
this
Wait,
this
just say
fool
something
got
normal?
Google Maps.
Normal.
Yeah, turn it
Okay.
up a little bit, just a tad bit louder.
Oh, do you want me to start yelling?
No,
No.
he's
But you definitely, yeah. All right,
Is that better?
this is
yeah,
better.
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, that's good.
It's funny because I was hearing my echo and it was messing me up.
This man.
Okay, well now you sound good. My match of the week, if you paid attention to the 3 Count Podcast Twitter page, you would know that it is not Pentagon versus Pete Dunne.
Yeah,
No, actually that is far from my match of the week. I think the destruction of Braun Strowman is probably my match of the week, which also makes Jacob my hottest wrestler of the week. When was the last time you saw Braun Strowman get manhandled like that?
Never.
Whew, it's been a while. Oh well,
Exactly.
got
Bronson.
Bronson Reed
Bronson.
Oh, that guy.
2 months ago.
He's hurt. He's hurt. Out of sight, out of
3
mind.
months ago.
Come on now.
This man jumped off a cage. Don't do that.
Right.
don't
And,
put out like that.
and after that, what has he done?
I was-
Just make a lot of
He
noise on
exploded his foot.
Yeah.
Twitter. Sucks to suck.
Yo, this man.
Damn.
Hey, you know what? He could tell you that Toronto's in Canada.
He pulled a coat.
I didn't hear you say Toronto.
Nah, man.
I
Everyone
swear.
everyone on this podcast watched me go, yeah, Toronto, and you was like, it's in Australia.
You know, if you watched Saturday Night Main Event, they
I
said
know
it
they plugged it
multiple
like
times.
5 times. I know.
Yeah, they did.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Because I
a lot.
definitely made a comment to my wife, was like, if they tell me about John Cena being in Elimination Chamber, I might not watch it.
Oh.
All right, Damien, what you got?
Did you give us your coldest, buddy?
I don't really. I said I didn't have a cold.
Oh,
They said didn't have
okay. My match. I think I'm gonna have to go with the same one as Twitch. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a B. Well, I got a B, but I don't want to say
I'm about
it.
to say, is
Go
it
ahead,
LA
say
Knight?
it. Go ahead.
I don't want to.
Clearly, you do. You just want to drag it out.
No, I really
Right.
don't want to.
Because it's from AEW.
Yes.
Why?
Mhm.
Oh, I know it is. That's why I'm waiting for him to say it.
All right.
Go ahead,
off,
say it.
off the record.
There is no off the record. We are live,
No,
brother.
it don't matter. It's off the record.
No, it
I
ain't.
will
No,
deny-
this
Look,
was recorded
I don't care.
as
Look, I don't care. how much you
126.25.
Yeah,
Your
look.
temp check.
Look,
What you mean?
I don't care if this is clipped. I don't care if it's recorded. I will deny
clipping
this.
this.
I will deny this.
I'm
I will
purposely
Come
And
on.
guess what? And I will deny it. To the day I die, I will deny that I even
Nope.
said this.
This is
But
tomorrow's
my B
clip.
is the destruction
7
of
o'clock.
the destruction of Private Party.
Mm.
I enjoyed that a little too much. I ain't gonna lie to you. My hottest wrestler besides Jacob, Charlotte.
Oh my gosh, here
I
we
am,
go.
I am
on.
loving these vignettes. The Queen is coming back at the Royal Rumble. She's gonna win it,
Oh my goodness, I can't even get the tweet
so she
out.
can face Tiff. It's gonna be epic. Don't get mad.
I'm saying this right now, and I have 2 witnesses to verify this.
What was that?
If Charlotte wins the Rumble, I am coming to you and I am punching you in the face.
Good luck getting to Utah.
I have a vehicle and money for gas.
All right, well, have fun in the mountains.
That ain't gonna bother me.
You got to get through those first, and I mean, I'm not going to be hard to find. I'll be the only black guy in the state.
You know what's
Oh,
crazy
so-
though? That's not even the thing. Twitch, you gotta get past like the temperature that drops below like 60 degrees.
That is true.
I
That
got
is
this.
true.
He's like, oh, 60 degrees, we there. 59, turn it back around.
I did used to snowboard, so I still have that gear, so I'm good to go.
What was the last time you snowboarded?
5 years ago.
About the
That's-
same time that photo was of Chad.
So for the record, that photo was taken 12 years ago. All right, I remember when it was
12
taken.
seconds ago. Yep.
Anyway, it was my sophomore year of high school.
It was just
For the
12
third
minutes
time.
ago. because he couldn't find Toronto on the map.
Anyway,
My
Moving
coldest.
on.
My coldest. My
No,
coldest.
it's coldest.
no, I'm
God
moving
damn
on
it.
from Damien.
My coldest. Fool. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. God damn it. The
This
fuck?
show is off the rails.
God
Oh
damn
yeah,
it.
this was
My,
gonna happen.
my coldest, which will funnel into, dumbass of the week, Mr. Khan.
He's not a wrestler.
He is today.
Wow.
What he
Wow.
took? Look, he took a bump, didn't he?
Mm, mm,
In a ring, didn't he?
mm, mm.
He horribly sold it, but it is just that's neither here nor there. There you go.
All right, go ahead, Cliff.
All right, hottest wrestler of the week clearly is Jacob Fatu. Like, there's no hiding that, man. That man destroyed Braun Strowman.
Dude,
Uh,
the promo on SmackDown.
The promo. On
Oh, the
SmackDown.
The two promos,
Oh,
back-to-back
Yes,
days.
the promo.
My man walking around talking his big noise. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Again, something that we all knew was gonna happen once he stepped into that ring. That Fatu. I'm all about that life right now. My coldest wrestler of the week. It's crazy, man. Because I love this guy to death. Right, he's my favorite wrestler of all time. But Rey Mysterio gonna be my coldest wrestler of the week. And
you okay?
yeah.
You sick?
So,
You have a cold?
why
Come
would
to the
why
dark
would
side.
why would Ray be? I don't know, because he got obliterated by the New Day.
Oh, you're right. He did. He
And he had
did.
heard that,
he had to
Dean.
go out. He had to go out with a a DQ win. So I can't have that. No, I'm just kidding. Coldest wrestler of the week is actually Tony Khan as well, because I didn't appreciate him in the ring. But my match of the week,
That's why, because he beat Kofi.
my match of the week is definitely gonna be I want to say Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman, right? But I'm gonna be real, man. Braun Breaker and Sheamus
That was
Bro.
really
was a
good.
banger.
That was a
When my
banger.
man jumped off the steel steps and got speared midair, I was like, "Oh my god, bro!
Mhm,
Oh
mhm.
my god!"
Mm-hmm.
So that's me right there.
Oh, I got something to say about that comment. All right, go ahead, keep going.
I'll flip through and I'll see it. So
Yeah,
I'm just up at the very top right now because somebody else put their hot cold wrestlers in, and I'm just waiting.
So, all right, I'll start with my coldest wrestler. My coldest wrestler, likewise, is Rey Mysterio. I just thought the
Are you
LWO.
okay?
I'm fine.
Are you sick?
No, I'm perfectly fine. He's not my favorite wrestler. I don't die on the hill that Rey Mysterio should be the GOAT.
That's because he is a goat.
There you go.
You know what?
Anyway,
He can find
So-
Toronto on a map.
my hottest wrestler is, of course, Jacob Fatu. yeah, after last night, me and my son were like, "Oh my goodness, don't stop!" Those are words from a 4-year-old who, as of right now, changed his favorite wrestler to Jacob Fatu. He was with the Yeet Man all day, all night, but that man Jacob started throwing his hip like 8 times in a row, and he said, "Yeah, that's cool." So yeah, Jacob Fatu, my hottest wrestler, my match of the week. Despite Twitch, I'm still going with Penta. Um, Look, that match was fire. I really enjoyed that. And if I had to give a 1B, it would be the Yeet Man Jey Uso versus Gunther. I loved everything about it. All the way to the finish with the power bomb. Oh man, everything about it. Like for a moment, I literally thought that Jey Uso, when he hit the Uso splash, I said, "Ain't no way, ain't no way." But yeah, that's my it's my 1B if I had to give it 1B.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I bit as well. Like
You been see.
if you saw me on the live stream last night, yeah, I bit. I was like, oh, I was like, oh damn.
Like, I legit stood up. I had to go like, wait a minute. Ooh, only two.
All right, so here we go. Mr. Golden says that Jacob is his hottest wrestler and his coldest wrestler is Balor and Braun. I agree. Those are pretty solid. And let me hop down here to the bottom. All right, so been told that you're the R-Truth of the show. You, Chaz.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Also known as
R-Truth
Carlton
follows the
Banks.
podcast.
He does follow the podcast. That is right. That big ups to him. Can we put him on mute? Said GPS Chaz. That wasn't a match. That was a destruction. It really was. That man hit 3 moonsaults off.
Yeah, he did.
Just destroying him.
After the freaking hip attack in the corner. Fuck.
He did.
The hip
I
attack.
counted. It was like 7. I think if I remember correctly, it was like 7.
It's insane. So the last time that he got hurt with Bronson Reed, do they have kangaroos in Toronto? I don't know, Chaz. Do they?
I've never
You're
been.
the expert here.
Yeah, I know, because you know where Toronto is.
Right.
Never been.
In Australia, apparently. Is it red or gray? And they might have them in the zoos, but I'm sure they have them out free roaming. Asshole. Not too much on Bronson Reed, Charles. I will get you tsunami.
If you do that, he'll die.
Jericho. I didn't hear you say it, Damien. I'm not sure. I forget. As God is my witness. She
I know what he's saying.
What's he talking about?
He's talking about that one thing I said that I wasn't going to speak on again, and I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so Twitch with the temp check. Why does he beat Kofi? He didn't beat Kofi. Okay, it was a DQ.
He got lucky.
The eye roll. Don't address me, Damien.
Look, the fact that you made me get on fucking Twitter to have to address your ass this past Monday, yo, fuck you. All right.
Gunther and Jimmy. Yep. The crowd was chanting Fatu. It's really okay. So we gotta really talk about that for a second, right? I'm put this back up here. It's only gonna be here for like 10 seconds.
That was nuts.
The fact that we knew, so Jacob Fatu is the heel in this match, and the crowd is just cheering for this man.
Yeah.
Not only, they're like, one more time,
right?
One more. They're actively looking for this, and then they're just cheering for Jacob like crazy. Yeah. Bruh, the fact that this man was cutting this promo as he's walking, the second promo, by the way, because he did one on SmackDown. He did it again on NBC. He's doing his promo. Bro, this man was just oozing charisma. And then Tama Tonga right there with him, too. And he was
I don't know what it is about them two together.
Yeah. They feed off each other.
There's something.
That's some chemistry
them
there.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something there that
Chaz, don't do that again.
That WWE sees, and it's money, and we're seeing it like literally in live, like in real time, like this partnership with just the two of them. So yeah, I agree with you. That
It's
man Jacob Fatu. And I said it on Twitter last night. Like last night, Jacob Fatu made himself a star on NBC prime time. Like literally, like there isn't a reason why a person who doesn't watch weekly saw Jacob Fatu and go, God damn, that's a big motherfucker. And then go, oh my goodness. Like, yeah, he made himself. He made himself a star last night. Big ups to
And I
WWE
think
for
he
putting
did
him
it.
in
I
that
think he
place
did it
for
last
doing
week.
that too as well.
The
And the
promo
thing-
last week.
Right.
and the thing is like he isn't like he hasn't let go of his full arsenal yet. Like we know there's more in there that people just haven't seen yet. So it's crazy. Mr. Golden said F Tomatonga. Why? Tonga Loa is the one that's gonna be taking all the pins, so we ain't worried about it. We ain't worried about that one. Oh my God, Damien said F me twice on Twitter, told me to shut my BA up. I don't have to be treated this way. Runs to Twitter. It is funny because we do be seeing you like go to Twitter and just type something up, and I be watching from there. Eustace just there to take pins and get beat up. Tomatonga is not that person. He's not. He's not the one getting beat up. I'm so happy they are letting Jacob just be him and letting that man whoop 100%. Also, by the way,
he's definitely getting the cook.
Yeah.
Tomatonga, by the way, just to put out there, Air Force veteran. Just little something something. So who's a good match for him? If is he just gonna keep fighting jobbers to the stars? Is he I don't know. So we talking about look for the next team for Jacob. Like
Or
I
you
mean,
talking
right here
about
we have
Tomatonga.
Fatu and Solo. Eventually, it's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yes. Yep. And then Roman.
And so he
Oh,
says that they're the weak links of the SWO. So he's talking about Tomatonga and Tamaloa being the weak links. And I definitely could agree with Loa being that person, but
Not Tama,
Tomatonga,
dude.
Tomatonga just oozes personality. That man was the first person to walk into the cage and was like climbing the cage, just looking ridiculous as he's just like scaling it like Spider Man.
What his match?
But it-
His match
but it
just
made
past
sense.
week. His match
Yeah.
But
this
it made
past
sense.
week was fire. That match he had this past week, that was fire.
To make him work, the man's doing his thing. This man said they're the Virgil and the Scott Norton.
Oh,
Damn,
well,
that
Virgil
Alright,
can
on that note,
but
I'm
the thing is though, those two can wrestle though.
it
That's
is
the
true.
thing.
true.
Like they might have not been presented correctly, but those guys could go.
Those guys were going. All right, let's go, Chaz.
All right, so look, let's start off with our first topic. That's not the first topic.
That's not the
Alright,
first
that's-
topic, but that was funny
That's
that
the
you put
first
that up
topic.
there.
So look, big topic coming in for the first one. So look, has WWE reached a cultural level of the cultural level impact like the NBA or the NFL, or is wrestling still a niche form of entertainment? All right. I have a hot take after we give ours because I wanted to see what everyone says first, but because we brought this topic to Twitter, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, just to see what everybody else was thinking, and it got a lot of different responses. And there was one response in particular that I want to bring up, but we'll bring it up later. So whoever wants to start this off, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All right, go ahead, Cliff.
Yeah, it's a niche product still. It's still very much a niche product. There's no difference. I mean, sure, it's building. There's a lot more influence into it with, especially like when you have people like Vanessa Hudgens and ASAP, and you have Matthew McConaughey, and you're getting all these other celebrities, or even just people who are hometown heroes. Like when you look at Matt Rule in Lincoln, Nebraska, when they're having something going down, the coach of the Huskers. You have all these people who could represent. It's cool, but at the end of the day, man, it's still just very much like we're still seeing the same numbers kind of show up, right? At 2.2, 2.3, 2.5 mil watching Raw on Netflix, or you're looking at the, 2.2 on USA with SmackDown, so the numbers are still very niche, especially when you're comparing it to something like, let's be real. I mean, WrestleMania at its best, right, is nowhere compared to what the Super Bowl is. And we're talking about the big game. It's gonna be coming up in 2 weeks. And we're probably talking about 130 million people watching. That's that, and probably more than that. So it's still, to me, it's a very niche product. It's still it's still growing, especially with a lot of help from like outside influences. But right now, yeah, it's very much as a niche product.
It's a very up and down thing because, like you were saying, the numbers have been relatively.
So, all right, who you got? Go, Damien.
Well,
Twitch is already
Twitch was
going.
talking.
He can't hear us, can
Yeah,
he?
he can. Joe, go ahead, Twitch. Go ahead, you got it.
It's
Continue.
the numbers are still very much like the same. You don't really see. It's like you were saying. You don't really see WrestleMania at its peak beating the Super Bowl any year. Like no matter who's playing in it, it's still the Super Bowl will always be what it is. The NBA Finals will always do better. I feel like with so many, how do I word this really? With so many like shifts that go on within wrestling, I feel like it's hard for somebody who's not a casual or not a weekly viewer to get sucked in to be like, okay, this is something that could replace the NFL for me or replace the NBA for me. Because let's be serious, I don't watch football. I am not a football fan. I don't watch basketball. I watch hockey. Like, I could say that WrestleMania does better than the Stanley Cup, or at least they do the same numbers. But when you compare it to something like the NFL or the NBA, that is just a juggernaut of sports entertainment, sports, whatever you want to consider it. It's hard to say that it's not niche. Like,
I mean, I'm gonna throw this out there, right? So we talking about the idea of just like Raw and SmackDown weekly going in, right? And I'm just gonna throw this number out there, right? 12 million people watch Thursday night football on
Okay.
average. Thursday night football, we talking about games like the Browns versus the Jets, teams that no one gives a fuck about, and we still want to think that pro wrestling is like in that same category. I don't, no, not yet. Go on, Damien.
It's definitely and has always been a niche product from like jump, like it always has. Yeah, it's gone up and down with its numbers, even higher than what I guess the numbers we see today. But at the same time, in the wrestling bubble, it has grown.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you an instance. There are like 4 people at my job that haven't watched wrestling in a long time, and since it's been moved to Netflix, they are starting to watch again. So like in its own bubble, yeah, like I think it has grown and it has like made a significant impact as far as it's growing. No, of course it's not like the NBA or the NFL. Like let's keep it real. That a lot of people watch. I don't watch, but a lot of people watch. So, but yes, WrestleMania is not pulling in the numbers, but they are pulling in the money.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they do a lot for whatever city that WrestleMania is in for that whole entire week.
Yep.
So, like, for me, it's a yes and a no. You know what I mean? So, like, that's kind of how I feel about it.
Also, Twitch, to your point, right? So the 2024 Stanley Cup, right? We'll talk about the NHL since you had mentioned that.
okay.
Average game for the Oilers Panthers games, right? Average viewer, 2.09 mil.
So about the same.
So about the same.
About the same. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. So like, I wouldn't call hockey a niche product, but if we're really comparing this to
The
football
NFL, the
and
NBA,
NBA,
even if you do like Major League Baseball and stuff like that,
yeah,
like and those sports are only around for what 3-4 months out of the year.
yeah. Well, it seems like baseball goes on forever. You know what I mean?
Baseball,
Like,
I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
we don't really
Yeah,
want.
because baseball starts literally at the tail end of the spring and lasts to top of fall.
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like baseball is like forever, but essentially it's literally one season, like one like actual like weather season, and like the end of one and the beginning of another.
Yeah. But too bad. I mean, go back to that point though, man. We're still talking about like you're still talking about a sport or one of, like the big four sports, right? So wrestling is in the middle of like those big four, but when those big four are on, like
They're on.
they're not holding. You're not holding a candle to what the WWE is not holding a candle to those big four.
No, they're not.
No. So my take is this: I don't think it's there with the NBA and the NFL, but I do think that they're closing the gap. If I'll take that stance up, they're not there yet, but they're getting there. Because if we're specifically talking about the WWE, the WWE isn't a wrestling company, and we've said it plenty of times over the past couple of years on this show. Like, it's not a wrestling company; they're a global entertainment juggernaut. Okay, like what they give you is transcends beyond just sports, and we got to look at the fact of crossover stars and who are right now the three biggest crossover stars that WWE produce. You're looking at The Rock, you're looking at John Cena, and you're looking at Roman Reigns. Now you can give and take. You can throw your Attitude Era stars out there. You can say like a Stone Cold Steve Austin has crossed over in a sense. People know who Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can give or take Hulk Hogan. I mean, everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is. But another name that people don't all like, people wouldn't synonymous with culture and pop culture is Ric Flair. Everybody from the age of 7 and up knows who Ric Flair is. I know that for a fact because I've had a 7-year-old said I had that Ric Flair drip on, and I went, "What did you just say to me?" So Ric Flair has transcended pop culture, and he's been retired for at least what? At least from
Ever.
weekly in-ring competition, literally decade. WrestleMania. Let's talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania is literally the Super Bowl for wrestling, and WrestleMania literally is as Damien said, is a tourist attraction. Me and Damien talked about this the other day over the phone. Where's WrestleMania hosting their where's WrestleMania being hosted at all the time? Well, the trend is right after where the Super Bowl is being held, right? They're getting these big stadiums and they're filling these stadiums. Like they're filling NFL football stadiums. Not only are there seating capacity, but they're adding chairs on the field as well. There and people all around the world. WrestleMania's about tickets for this year are about to go on sale. Or they just went on sale. At least pre-sale just did, and numbers are going through the roof. And even with inflation, I mean the nosebleeds are $700, and that's just to sit all the way at the tippy top. But guess what? People around the world are spending the money, and they're traveling to wherever it is that WrestleMania is being held, and they're going. Like I think a lot of people on the Old Head podcast, I hate to call it the Old Head podcast, but Arn Anderson, Bruce Pritchard, and all of them, they said it. When you're going to see WrestleMania, you could give two craps about who's on the card. You're going to WrestleMania. WrestleMania in itself is a brand, and that supersedes. I mean, let's think about it. All the different stars that we saw at WrestleMania, like we saw T Pain, one of them. Not can't think of anyone else, but just the stars itself. We're talking about stars, the collaborations. WWE has a hot trend now of working with these celebrities, looking like Logan Paul, despite popular belief and how personal belief in Logan Paul. Logan Paul is a draw to the younger generation, to the streamer kids, the iPad kids. People watch wrestling and they're watching why some of these young kids they're watching because oh yeah, Logan Paul, Bad Bunny getting in the ring itself. Like Bad Bunny may not be popular to us, but hey, globally around the world, Bad Bunny is that dude. And hey, another celebrity collaboration, and not just that. Think we talked about it last week and on the watch along for Netflix. The list of celebrities. I mean, A-list people who were there on Monday Night Raw. So to say, I think it's closing the gap. It really is closing the gap because I think the WWE is playing an entirely different game than the NBA and the NFL. WWE already has the work. They have the international audience. Does the NFL have that audience yet? No. The NFL is on their way there. They're trying. They're getting games in London, games outside of the United States. The NBA sort of kind of has that. They have teams outside of the United States, and the Olympics does that. The Olympics helps that as well. And so does FIBA and all that. But WWE's playing the international game. They're already having shows in Saudi Arabia, which is probably the new hotbed for tourist attractions in prime time events in the world. Saudi Arabia. WWE's been doing that for a decade now. All right, they got shows in Puerto Rico, shows in France, and we've seen how big and how rowdy those shows get. So the international crowd already knows WWE. So to be honest, a cultural impact. No, they're not there as far as the level of the NBA and NFL, but they're closing the gap. They're closing the gap. And I mean, how many times over the past 20 years in the NBA or even, but yeah, the NFL, so this is a lot of times you see it in the NFL, have you seen this? How many times? Let's keep it a buck. And the funny thing is this the guy that you know who's synonymous with this didn't invent it. Cena did not invent this, but it's synonymous with him. How many times, Cliff, you watch football regularly? Twitch, you watch football regularly. How many times over the past 15? Well, you watch it enough to see the fact that you've seen somebody go celebrate and go,
The Eagles player that just did the pedigree after the touchdown.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
So I mean, okay. So to go back, I mean, yeah, sure. Wrestling has had an influence into other aspects of it, but those guys, I'm going to say the majority of those guys are not talking about pro wrestling. They're not out here talking about pro wrestling. They're not having those conversations. But people are talking about the Super Bowl. People are talking about the NFL. People are talking about the NBA. People talk like legitimately. We go to ESPN. We don't see a show that's about pro wrestling. ESPN doesn't have a show about pro wrestling, right?
Well-
We don't have a. This is the closest thing that we're getting to first takes of pro wrestling. Like, let's keep it a $1.50. So to say that we're cracking into that wrestling is cracking into mainstream, it's not fair because like what we're doing, what is going on is that wrestling is cracking it. Well, and not wrestling per se, but let's go with WWE because regardless of how you feel, whether you want to say it's a wrestling show or not is irrelevant. It's people know it's a wrestling show, and when you see it cracking into hip hop community or you see it cracking into, uh, the sports world or you see it cracking into TV shows, like people were talking. Wasn't it? There's other podcasts where other people are just not familiar with, and thank goodness for people like Kathy Kelly who are just presentable to to the female audience. They get to see and people are like, damn, like, I didn't know that this was all there in wrestling. And then you see people start to follow Roman Reigns and you see people following John Cena. But it's like wrestling is always going to have like its core base fans, right? That 18 to 40 demographic. And what it's going to end up happening is that hopefully we can start seeing it grow within the community and then more people are going to start watching it and then people outside the community are going to, I think, partnerships and you seeing people like Vanessa Hudgenson like showing up almost weekly or monthly at the shows on Raw, just like enjoying herself, having a blast. Or what was it, Kat Dennings, right? She was out here talking about wrestling at one time and then the internet community was like, come watch wrestling with me at my place, you fucking weirdos. The that whole thing, like that was all crazy and stuff, but like you see people start to poke and prod with it. With the one thing that I'm gonna go off and say, right, it's still very much a niche product because we have fucking gatekeepers who won't let people enjoy what they're watking. And I
It's
think
true.
that's ultimately gonna be the problem. I mean, the WWE itself, right? And I was just looking up these numbers, right? We're talking about viewerships for the Super Bowl in the U.S. alone, right? The Super Bowl, we're averaging like 41 million people watching that, right? And you're not seeing that at WrestleMania on TV. I just could be a $1.50 with y'all, you know. And while they're reaching out to international audiences, and you brought up the NBA is still playing games in China. They're playing games in Japan.
Yeah.
They're playing games in Australia. They're playing games in Africa. So the global game is starting to expand because of, let's be real, like the Dream Team kind of helped put that shit on the map. But that's not the point I'm getting at. The point I'm getting at is that while WWE has been doing this longer than what the NFL has been doing. The NBA has been doing this for a hot minute, and they've been growing the game crazy fast. So
It,
I just think at the end of the day, though, that like wrestling still is a niche product. Like it's not and it's niche in the U.S. Let me do that. It's niche in the U.S. because other places like Japan and when you go through Europe and stuff. I mean, shit. We just were talking about the was it the UGW over in Africa, right?
yeah.
Like it's growing. Yeah, sure, it's growing, but it's just at the point where in the United States alone, it's very much a niche show. Like people look down on pro wrestling because they're like, well, it's not real, so I don't need to like be watching it all that much. They're not really hitting each other with chairs.
It's always shown in such a negative publicity anytime you really see it. And I think that's what really, I don't want to say that's the main thing that affects the viewership, but I think it's a big part of the issue with like trying to break in to get new people to watch this product. Like, because let's be serious, everybody in the world heard about the Vince McMahon scandal and everything that went on with that. How many people do you honestly think that turned away from wanting to be like, hey, let me go check out wrestling as something new to watch? Like,
So I want to bring up the tweet that I said that viewers put out. Um, there it is. So is it? Can you see the tweet, people?
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
All right. So look, there's the tweet. Look at those numbers.
So for those who are going to be listening to us on the podcast, I'm just going to read it to you, right? This is coming from Chris Kazama, right? Shout outs. Niche Entertainment. 17 million watch a bad NFL teams play every week. 5 million watch primetime NBA games. 100 million watch for the Super Bowl. 13 million watch for NBA Finals. Those are the numbers, and their shows have to attain to shed this niche blanket. So those are the numbers that the WWE or just wrestling in general has to shed just to be considered not niche anymore. Especially when we look at other TV shows that have like the little cult followings. I mean, Home Improvement, right, is a show that was out in the '90s,
yeah.
and people still watch that show religiously, bro. And we're talking about end over end, and all the episodes, all the TV. And I picked that show randomly because I guess I just got done watching Shifting Gears on ABC. Shout outs to the free plug. But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you've gotta be able to shut off that aura that, hey, it's only for these people.
No, you're right.
All
Because
right.
we just watched Taylor Swift last year, 2 years ago, show up to the NFL, and guess what? Oh my God! Everybody's a Travis Kelsey fan or a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Yeah,
Facts. Absolutely.
there's other
All right.
teams out there.
Final thoughts on this one. All right. Niche entertainment, or has it reached the cultural impact like NFL
Niche.
or NBA?
Niche.
Red Dog?
Niche.
Definitely niche.
Niche.
I'll say this. Niche entertainment with cultural impact, though, because like you did bring up a good point about we did see last week the Eagles player hitting the
The pedigree.
pedigree. We've seen tons of people do the "You Can't See Me." We've
Yeah.
seen people do the Ric Flairs, right? I mean, there's college campuses where they'll be like,
The Migos made a whole song called Ric Flair Drip.
it's not even
Ric
just that,
Flair in
man.
the video.
Go to any bar. Go to any bar and say, let me get 2 claps and a Ric Flair. I
Woo!
guarantee you, yep, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are certain people who have definitely had the impact in around the game that I would say yes, it's made the impact that it needs to make, but it's still very much a niche product.
Yeah, it definitely has cultural impact within the wrestling culture. But like the wrestling culture is getting big. Like every year it's getting bigger and bigger,
We still got kids out here telling people to suck it.
right?
That is true.
What?
All right.
What?
Go to the
What?
comments. Red
Oh
Dog,
yeah, I gotta
man.
get to the comments. We have a few of them.
People think. Let us know what you think. Do you think that the WWE or wrestling in general is still a niche bubble entertainment, or is it up there with the NFL, the NBA, and your major sports league? Let us know. #3CountPod. #Chaz and Friends.
So they've always been in
been
there, just not in the
put
spotlight.
the spotlight.
100%. I think they've saturated the product with so many shows and performers. I actually think that's the opposite. It's given the opposite effect because just looking through the numbers, where consistently you're seeing shows average like 700,000 viewers and up. And that's Collision, by the way, that I was
Yep.
just last week. 700,000 from this last week and up. So it's only going up from there. And even like, let's be real, I haven't watched NXT in forever, right? And since it moved to the CW, it's still averaging 820,000 viewers. So
Yeah.
like, I'm just still crazy. There's still a lot of people who saw Trick show up on SmackDown and was like, "Whoop that Trick, yeah, whoop that Trick." So they know. Um, and the way that wrestling is portrayed, it's always difficult to get to a higher level. That's
Exactly.
we brought that point up. Do you think
Yeah.
moving to PG-13 has something to do with it? I think the Attitude Era was more popular with the true wrestling fans. So I think that your hardcore wrestling fans have stayed around. I think the bigger part and what's going to be crazier, right, is I think this era of wrestling fans that's going to start showing up because you're going to get guys like Logan Paul, I Speed, right? Who else was in there? There's a lot of people that are talking about it and they'll be streaming it, tweeting about it, you know, sh- doing all sorts of stuff behind the scenes. I think a lot of people are going to start watching it because they're going to be very interested about what's happening. Uh oh come on, the NBA is longer. Uh, not longer than baseball. Batista.
Well, no, because NBA starts what? I always in my brain I
February?
go Halloween. Is like
Nah,
it's
NBA
like the
starts in
start of the
October.
NBA.
Yeah.
That's been like
Yeah.
like right after, so like November, and then what the finals are usually in.
So there's always one day out of the year where the NHL, the NFL, the MLB, and NBA all play on one
That's
Sunday.
it's got to be in October, November-ish.
Yeah, it's October. It's always in
It's
October.
got to be October.
Yeah. So I would still go out of the way and say when you go from April all the way March, April till October, that's a long time versus
That is-
October to June time frame.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. It's there's more games. It's just I think with baseball there's 182 games, so we're literally having to watch everything. We just
Yeah.
keep up with what we got going on. Yeah, Batista, another great example of somebody else who's
yes, absolutely,
crossover.
Yeah,
WrestleMania in Toronto, Australia. Yes.
that's
Pat McAfee has had a huge impact.
Yes, he
Yeah.
has.
For
Very much so.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
McAfee
yeah.
is the reason, low key. I don't want to say low key, but high key that ESPN, in any sense, would cover wrestling.
Right.
When on Mondays with the Pat McAfee show, Pat's at the arena where they're holding Raw. Pat's also giving a lowdown on what's happening on Raw. He's hyping up Raw on the Pat McAfee show, which comes on right after first take.
Yep.
So, yeah, I definitely Pat McAfee. Definitely.
Right here, most of the publicity that wrestling gets is negative by the media, 100%, because
Exactly.
we don't ever talk about and let's be real, we don't talk about Roman Reigns' title run. We don't talk about Gunther's title run. We don't talk about the fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin has won the Royal Rumble 3 times, and that there's only so many wrestlers who have done it. We don't talk about the number 1 spot, and we don't talk about those things. But we do talk about Chris Benoit. We do talk about Hulk Hogan. We do talk about Vince McMahon. We do talk about
Steroids.
steroids.
Everything.
Yeah, everything that goes on. We talk about those. We won't talk about oh man, did you see this happen? People know, but people don't talk about Bruno Sammartino and how long he held the title for.
For fucking ever.
For fucking ever, dude. Twice.
Yeah, twice. Not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever beaten those 2 records.
I know this is the stigma of being fake, even after so many years, hurts wrestling. It does, it's weird because people watch like these action shows, these action movies, right? Like let's talk about Taken, right, with Liam Neeson. You watch that movie and it's like there's a trilogy, but we're gonna stereotype wrestling but it's fake. But yeah, so was that movie where Liam Neeson had to save his wife and daughter on 3 different occasions. And so yeah, I ain't trying to hear all that. That's why I laugh at that argument. But people want to see new stars get pushed, which is to have 50 plus wrestlers win titles. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I mean,
If the name draws, the name
yeah,
draws.
the name
Yeah.
draws. Like if another name that gets brought up in controversy, Brock Lesnar. If Brock Lesnar comes back, you're watching for whatever Brock Lesnar is gonna do. You're not watching it because you're like, oh man, and sorry, Carmelo. I do like you a lot. But you're not watching for like Carmelo Hayes. Like if Brock Lesnar and Carmelo Hayes are on the same show, you are watching Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong with that at all.
Out there in Carmelo Hayes.
And it's yeah, it sucks. That's why I was like, if Pretty Deadly, if you're yeah, because I was like trying to find like a newer star, and I was like, and that was the first one that popped in my mind, which unfortunately
Which
that's
proved my point on him being like he shouldn't be the bump guy because who's the first guy you thought? Oh yeah, Melo.
yeah, well, because like because then after that, the next person I thought about was Pretty Deadly, and then as soon as I said Carmelo, I was like, yo, Pretty Deadly is right there too. But like
Yeah.
you're trying to drum up all these new superstars, but then the problem is that Pretty Deadly is there, and if you're comparing Pretty Deadly to Brock Lesnar, who you watching?
Brock.
Brock.
I want to see what Brock does to Pretty Deadly, actually.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, 162. That's right. That I messed that up. That brings up another point. Interest. The interest in other sports are in some way based on stats, but there's no stats in wrestling. There is no stats in wrestling
No.
because it doesn't make.
Nah, try to tell that to Tony.
Defensive.
Yeah,
Try to tell that to Tony.
wins and losses don't matter, and
That's
but that holds back to younger guys. Yeah, but that's also the thing is that you give some of these younger guys opportunities. I mean, we're talking about Jacob Fatu right now. Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, those guys are all exploding on the scene, but and Carmelo Hayes is those guys. Is one of those type. Like Carmelo Hayes is him. Let me put that.
Yeah.
He will be a draw, right? But the thing is, when you watch wrestling, you're watching for these larger than life superstars. You're not watching to watch the average dude, right? Like Rey Mysterio is an exception to the rule, right? The dude's 5'6", 185 pounds, to anywhere from 185 to like 205, and you're like, I could take him in a fight. But you're not doing that when you see Braun Strowman. Maybe now because Jacob Fatu destroyed him, but you weren't doing that prior. Like so, it's crazy. Let's see.
All right. Let's get to it.
We have a couple more, just real quick. Political
Yeah, come
correctness
on.
has always played a part.
Let's get
Yep.
to it.
But LA Knight will not win the title. I doubt. He's close to 40. Actually, I think he's over 40. But yeah, I get your point. Go on, Chaz.
All right, so
I'll walk away real quick.
I want to move on to our second debate topic. Then we'll get into to Damien's dumbass of the week.
Are we switching it up?
Yeah, just switch it up for this time, just for the sake of time. I want to get into it because we're definitely. I like the energy we're giving with these topics. All right, so the TNA WWE partnership. It was announced last week. We've seen it for the past couple of months. TNA superstars coming over to WWE. WWE, well, mainly the NXT guys and gals are coming over to TNA. And so the question is this: so with this TNA WWE partnership, should this be a NXT only crossover, or should they allow the main roster to give us these dream cross promotional matches? Let's start off with you, Damien.
Well, so I mean, we did see Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble. Probably going to see Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble. I feel like from the way that they described the I guess some of the inner workings of this said multi-year deal, like it sounds like there could be that possibility of like AJ showing up again, or like what I mean. I mean,
myself. My name is AJ Francis.
but I don't know. I kind of like it with just NXT and TNA kind of trading back and forth because the cat again. It gives all the talent and the developmental to go to a real show and get some more TV time and some more ring time, and also get other perspectives. You know what I mean? From talent that's been in the game for a while, like Eric Young and like shit, all the members in the system. Like, there's a lot of heads over there that like they could learn besides from the coaches that are in the performance center and everybody that's in NXT. So and then on top of that, you get the younger guys that have never been in WWE an opportunity to kind of learn the system and find their. And then when they do get that opportunity, they'll fit in like a glove. So I kind of like it, like staying with just NXT and TNA. I feel like it's more. Everybody's gonna learn a lot more, and I think it'll be a lot. I think they'll have a lot more fun because I think it'll be less restrictions. I feel like main roster talent and main roster appearances, it's going to be a lot more restrictions. You know what I mean?
All right, go ahead, dog.
Mm. I don't know. I kind of want to see this partnership go use the main roster talent, right? I know right now we're predominantly talking about how it's just kind of crossed over one way, but Joe Hendry just called out John Cena,
You
like,
did.
at Genesis, like, and afterwards, and talked about how he wanted to face him and gave his like story about it and everything like that. But I think what I ultimately want to see, right, is I want to see some of these larger stars get brought over to the main roster and just kind of get a chance to showcase their talent, right? Um, and I think about these are second opportunities for someone like a Nick Nemeth or Mustafa Ali, right?
Right?
AJ Francis coming back now, right? PCL is no longer there, but now we get to talk about, and this is
Thank
where,
goodness.
what's that?
I said, thank goodness.
Yeah, and I think this is where I'm gonna get into it. This is where we're gonna really start talking about this because we've always said that the Knockouts division was unmatched.
Right?
Nobody was hanging to them, right? And now we're about to see this Knockouts division hang and bang with not just the NXT, but I want to see them hanging and banging with women on the main rosters. And I think that's where I'm at. Minus one talent, minus one, just one. But I want to see a Rosemary versus. Yeah, you already know. You already know. I want to
Yes,
see
you're
a
right. You're right.
Rosemary.
You're right, dog. You're right.
I want to see a
No,
Rosemary and like a Mia Yim match, right? I know we got Meechin. I know we got Meechin and Rosemary when she was at TNA, but I want to see Rosemary. I want to see, you know, I want to see another matchup where I'm getting. Well, now Jordan Grace is crossing over, so we know that she's going to be in the E, here soon. It's We have an opportunity to showcase a lot of these women. You know, Tasha Steeles. When I'm thinking about these women that are going to be crossing over, we have this rare opportunity to be able to like watch the women of the Knockouts division just show up and show out. And I'm hoping. I'm hoping that she's back from her ACL surgery. I know that she's good to go. I haven't seen her on the TV yet, but I'm hoping to see like a Kylan King be able to come through. Former TNA Impact Knockouts tag team champion, right? I want to see her come back. I want to see her just get her destruction on in the women's roster, in the main women's roster. So I think there's some great opportunities to start seeing this, and we kept talking about it. And like I said, this is where I want to see is the Knockouts division start showing up and showing out against this whole WWE women's roster division because we've said it, bar none. There's nobody except the women of NXT that we're holding a candle to the Knockouts division, and now we're about to see. I want to see what it's going to look like with the main roster as well.
I feel like it needs to. I think it needs to happen over time. Like
So,
they've got a year to get into it. Like, give it one more year. Let NXT and TNA kind of do their thing, and then just like do it slowly. And I know the person you don't want to see, but I want to see her versus Charlotte. I'm sorry.
I mean, I ain't gonna front. Like, I
I
get it.
want to see that match. Like, I've been wanting to see that match forever. And I get it. She's a horrible piece of shit, but I want to see it.
guess what? To be completely honest with you, I'm fine without it. Like I really am. Like I really am. Unless you're gonna look, let's keep it a buck. I will say it. Look, we're talking about Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte Flair. I get it. I know why we want to see it. I know all the personal reasons and just the mantra and the spectacle of it. But unless you're gonna put Tully there and you're putting Rick out there and they're gonna do some shenanigans along with the match, I really could care less. Like I can see two other
Who did
females go at it. Like I really
wh-
could. And I
who did we see at Saturday night's night? Who did we
and
see at
still get
Saturday
the
night's
same
main
effect
event?
that match gave me.
We saw Tully.
Like I
We saw
just yeah
Tully
no.
on Saturday.
But to give my point, I think why not both? Why not? Like NXT can still showcase their talent. Like let's keep it a buck. Like what they've done, like the tag division, the NXT tag division, and the TNA tag division. That we got that little story budding. That's fine then. Like you can keep the NXT talent with like some of the mid card level talent there at TNA and build those mid card stories and those undercard stories. While your main event roster superstars can give us the dream matches, like Cliff said. Joe Hendry called out John Cena on Busted Open Radio. Not only that, like that's literally like above us. Okay, it's Busted Open. All right, that's on Sirius XM. They're like a step, just a half step. So like he called them out like mainstream radio type and said, "No, look, John Cena versus me for the TNA like World Championship." Shook waves last week. I mean, seriously, everybody was talking about Joe Hendry, John Cena, Joe Hendry, John Cena in TNA, Joe Hendry, WWE, WrestleMania, and then so there's no reason why we can't get that. I mean, look, keep NXT how you're doing right now with NXT with the week to week stuff with TNA. You have certain superstars come over, to TNA, certain superstars come over to NXT, vice versa. When TNA has a pay per view, like we did with Cora Jade, have her over there, boom, and then vice versa when we have the takeovers, and then boom, this this avoids all the problems that a lot of IWC people like to say. Oh, overexposure of your top stars. This avoids that because you're keeping your NXT talent with the mid-level superstars, and you're letting TNA cook with their own thing as they're doing. But hey, let's just say Survivor Series rolls up, and we want to do if we don't want to do the War Games with the women, hey, maybe we could do a men's War Games with with our guys, with our story. But maybe we do the cross-promotional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match that Cliff that Red Dog over there has been clamoring about for 2.5 years. And we do a Knockouts versus WWE Superstars Survivor Series match. And you leave that like your main roster. That avoids the overexposure idea with, you bring your main stars to NXT and it's overexposure. And so, TNA benefits from it because, hey, you got your knockouts, or not even your knockouts. Let's just say you do Joe Henry versus John Cena at a WWE show. Hey, that's bring eyes on your product, right? And not only that, you're giving your fans what they want. You're feeding them, like you're giving the fans what they want. It's a win-win situation. So why not both? Because I agree with Damien. I like the NXT TNA thing that they got going on. I like it. But I do want to see like an AJ Francis come back to SmackDown or a Nick Nemeth.
Yo, this man got cut off again. I think. Yo, you good? Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't even know where my train of thought was. I lost it soon.
No, but see, so like, okay, so a matchup that I would like to see happen, right? And it goes back, right? So you can either put this on TNA, you can build it up, you can cross it over to the mainstream. But yo, let me get like a Monster Slamovich versus Bailey. Like,
Hello, yes.
yeah, I mean, like, you could build it up over 3 shows. Like,
There's a lot of there's a lot of great matches that we can have, and to be honest with you, I think we're gonna get most of them within this this time of this partnership.
Yep.
Like, I'm okay with waiting and seeing how this plays out. Of course, yeah, I would love to see, like, John Cena face Joe Hendry. Uh,
Ultimate X
Mo-
at WrestleMania.
Oh my god, bro! Ultimate
Mo-
X at WrestleMania.
Mo- Moose versus Roman Reigns. That would be fucking interesting. Like, there's a lot of potential in some different areas. So for me, it's just sit back, wait and see, and enjoy the ride.
Of course.
Because, like, this is for WWE. This is different. This is different than anything they've done as far as a partnership with another company.
Right.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they're like, they're predominantly looking great, like, both on each other's shows. That tag team match at the live Impact this past
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Fraction versus the Rascals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Badass match. The fucking match was fire as fuck. Enjoyed every fucking minute of it. And they got close to winning.
Mm-hmm.
The Rascals were that fucking close.
And I think when you look at it too, like, it's like I said, you get a second shot with people. Ash by Elegance is
Yeah.
another person I'm thinking of. Having her come back. And I'm
Like,
thinking
she
about
was
like,
on NXT. She was on NXT last year when
yeah.
Jordan Grace and her were feuding.
Yep.
And then, you're also looking at guys who get the opportunity to come to NXT and WWE in the main roster, like Hammerstone, who hasn't been.
Yeah.
We all know how great he was doing, and now we know that, like, now he's starting to come over. So there's all these dream matches that we can get, and I think that mixing them up with the main stars is gonna give them the rub to have fans go back and watch those guys on TNA. And whether it's true or not, whether WWE is looking to purchase TNA and trying to find them a network and whatever XYZ, I don't really care about all the inside outs. I just want to see some of these superstars start to give the rub to some of these other wrestlers so that we can start seeing this product grow even more.
Steve Macklin versus Jacob Fatu.
Dog.
Yo.
I just thought about that.
Joe Hendry
Yo,
versus
I
Chad
never-
Gable.
Oh, yo.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, and here's the catch though, some of these other wrestlers that are on TNA, right? You have to wonder if they're gonna have the ability to, and I know this can sound weird when I say it this way, ability to translate to WWE system, right? Because Jonathan Gresham is on TNA's roster. We know how great of a wrestler he is. We know how much of a fire match him and Chad Gable can put
Oh
on.
god, dude. Oh, I would love to see that.
You know what I mean?
But you're
But
right.
it's-
How would he translate?
Yeah. How would the fans accept him? You know what I mean?
This is where I think the Performance Center in NXT comes in hand. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you have because, like, not everybody in TNA can wrestle the WWE style.
Right.
There's a good portion of them that can, but you got the ones that has never touched that system. So now they have that opportunity to go to the Performance Center, go to NXT and, like, see that, and then I think they'd be fine. Like, then translating to being on the main roster with, like, a big star, I think they'll be fine.
And also getting Santino back on my TV would not be bad.
Oh, I would fucking love Santino.
Santino's great.
He's the fucking man.
I'm just looking through the roster of just people
All right, Twitch,
that
what you got, dog?
I'm cool with however you want to do it. All I'm saying is I want Ultimate X on either TakeOver or WrestleMania. And with that, I also want Sami Callihan versus Jacob Fatu.
yes.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that one.
It really doesn't matter to me how you want to do it. If you want to make everybody draw shows out of a fishbowl, then go ahead. Like, let's do this. Like, I'm just excited that this is what we're getting.
WrestleMania about to be 3 nights long.
Right? We're gonna make it a whole week.
A whole week
You
of
put
shows.
Monday Night Raw with it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about like, you get someone with the attitude of Tasha Steelz versus like Tiffany Stratton
I was
on the
about to
main
say it. Go
roster.
ahead. Start dropping some dream matches. Start
Bruh,
dropping some
that's
dream
that's
matches.
tops for me right there. Like I want to see that. Let me get the reunion of the North, right?
which we probably will. We
So look,
probably
I was
that's
talking
really
to
close.
Noah Idol about that. I was like, dog, if I get a North reunion out of this, it'd feed me for a year. He goes, what are you talking about? No, that'd be so awesome.
Hey, his contract's almost up.
Yeah.
That contract is almost up.
Bruh,
He had
there's
that
just
banger of a match with Santana.
yeah. And I'm just looking for other people too. We can get Laredo Kid versus Dragon Lee. You know, it's just like
That'd
a
be
minor
fire.
match.
Like I said, give me Hendry and Gable. Give me Callahan Fatu. Give me I'm
There's
just here for all of
so
it.
many. Any of the ladies in that locker room versus any of the ladies in either locker room. Like I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to Cora Jade and Slamovich. Like
Yo, let me get let
that.
me get let me get Havoc versus Piper Niven.
Oh.
Give me
I mean,
give me what is it, the Impact tag team champions? Spitfire
yeah,
Yeah.
Spitfire,
versus Naomi and Bianca. Or
right?
shit, Bianca and Jade.
Well, here's okay. So TNA is sitting on a little diamond in the rough, and a lot of people may not know who she is. You guys would know her, Heather by Elegance, if you're watching TNA. Most people would know her as Heather Reckless. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, let me just put her with anybody on the NXT roster, bro. She's fire, and she's so much fun to watch. And
She
so,
is.
y'all about to have
I
fun.
enjoy where her and Asher did as a tag team.
Yeah,
Like it is fucking hilarious as fuck because she's trying to be this like you can see her like sometimes fighting her crazy if that makes any sense. Like she's trying to be this prissy
mm-hmm,
proper, and then she gets fucking riled up in that fucking ring. It's great,
bruh.
dude. That tag match against Spitfire,
Crazy Steve in the WWE
right?
would be dumb tough.
Ooh.
And of course, some of these other wrestlers are coming back too. Brian Myers, Matt Cardona. I
Yeah,
mean, we're talking about Ash by Elegance again, like we mentioned earlier. We're talking about some of these wrestlers who have gone to WWE, wrestled the system, and then come back. Eric Young is another perfect example we were just
yeah,
talking about. Like, you know, I really can't wait to see someone like Alan Angels get an opportunity to show up and show out at NXT or on Raw. I don't really care anywhere, but you know, I felt like he was like an undervalued member of the Dark Order, and like to see him now kind of break out and do his thing, I'm here for it. So
All right, let's get to it. Last thing on the docket, but certainly not the least. You've been waiting for an hour and a half for it. I've been waiting an hour and a half for it. Let's do it. Roll that clip, Cliff.
It's Damien's Dumb Ass of the Week.
Tony Khan. That's the name that's going up.
That's it.
There's no other name because of the bullshit he pulled. Okay, two things, yo. Two fucking things. One, why the fuck did you break tradition for Ring of Honor? Why? No, there's no reason. I don't want to hear it because you didn't think you were going to draw because it draws every fucking year. You're going to get people that are going to come and fucking want to see that, especially if you're fucking in Vegas. So why?
Oh,
Why? And then this is the one that gets me, like that just blows my fucking mind. Young talent cannot wrestle WrestleMania weekend. Now, you got a lot of young ass niggas on that roster, excuse my language, that have status. It is a very vague statement. It doesn't make sense. You these people are able to get some more exposure. I mean, are you afraid that WWE is going to take a look at them? I mean, they can just turn on your fucking show and see them.
But can they though?
Yeah, they on Max and on whatever other
I mean,
station
if
they're
you
on.
remember, there was during the war, right? During the Wednesday Night War, it has been said it's been said like they were watching the other show,
Yeah.
just like it was in the Monday Night War. So, yeah, they probably are watching.
My thing is like that's somebody
Especially
that's
now
probably
they're on different nights. Like NXT,
that's probably
they're
somebody that
free.
gets paid to watch AEW television and product.
I mean, I'll take that job.
I mean, I take it too if you're paying me good enough money. I'll watch it if I'm getting paid to watch it. Just saying.
Right.
But like my thing is like what the fuck? Like, do you have a stick or straw so shoved far up your ass and or nose that like you are not thinking fucking straight? Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it don't.
Like I thought it was a joke when I heard it. I shit you not. I thought it was a fucking joke. I was like, there's no fucking way. So for that, sir, you take Jericho off the list and it's just you.
All right, so there is no vote, is what you're telling me.
There is no motherfucking vote.
God dang it.
It's Tony fucking Khan. Is the dumbass of the motherfucking week.
He said he don't give a fuck what your opinions are.
Nope.
It is crazy because I do want to know like who gave him the idea that says like, hey, some of these younger talent that we have, they shouldn't be allowed to wrestle at WrestleMania week in Vegas. Like I want to know like who put that idea in his head, and then he was like, yeah, that's a great idea, because that's the real question is because he didn't come up with that idea by himself. It's not like he was.
All right, you're right. He didn't. Let me tell you who helped him come up with that fucking idea. Fucking cocaine. That's who gave him the fucking idea. So Cliff, you're right. He didn't come up with it his goddamn self.
He said cocaine.
One hell of a drug, buddy. One hell of
this idea.
He was sitting in his hotel room doing lines one night.
Oh, here we go.
What's crazy to me because it's not like okay. So what's crazy to me too is that like it's not like Tony's like super busy because like the Jags aren't in the playoffs,
right?
And I mean he's probably getting ready for like the draft and stuff like that. FC Fulton is like doing their thing, so you know what I mean. But like you have a lot of time on the show. Like why would you tell your people like no, you can't get more exposure. You just got to sit here and just wait.
My thing, like I said though, but what is the emphasis on young talent? Are you talking about your new talent that just got there? Because Darby is young as fuck. I'm just saying, as an instance, Darby is young as fuck. So is Jungle
I would assume
Boy.
it's the ROH talent.
That would be my assumption too.
Well, we're talking about like, is this also go out of the way of like I don't know, like Nick Wayne? Is Nick Wayne also?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, you got people like Nick Wayne and like there's like a shit ton of young ass guys on the AEW roster.
Private Party, are they off the list? Are they considered young? Or are they still considered old because they've been there for a while?
That's what I'm saying. Like that, it doesn't make sense. It's too fucking vague. Which I feel like it's literally a MJF. That's another one. He's young as fuck. But
that's
I'm
one
just
of their
saying,
pillars. They're going to do everything they can to appease him.
But let's keep it a buck.
Hook.
I don't think MJF is working WrestleMania week.
No, I don't think he is either. I mean, he might show up.
Let's
do some signing.
Real. How many of the mainstay AEW roster is really going to be taking WrestleMania bookings? They don't need it.
No, they don't. But you know what I mean,
TV
though.
Every week.
But my thing is like, it doesn't make any sense.
When those shows are going on, like
Ricky Starks
on Wednesday.
Those damn
Dynamite's going on, and most people are gonna watch Dynamite.
Ray
They're not gonna
Phoenix.
tune in
Ray
to
Phoenix.
GCW.
Free.
They're
Where's
Go
my
not
hard
gonna
on.
sign?
watch the culture. Like,
Where'd my sign
let's just
go?
be for real. They're not. I mean, the collective. They're not gonna watch it. Like, let's just be for real.
Yeah, but what's the point? Then why not just let your talent still go work the show?
Right? I feel like this is
So
a
they can get
case by
hurt.
case basis, but I feel like it's
The
a
young
case
one?
by
No,
case basis.
Let's be for real. Okay, so most people are not gonna watch the collective over watching Dynamite. Because let's be for real, most of the indie shows that's going on in Vegas will be GCW rendezvous shows, mainly not GCW, but they're, in that banner. Who's going to see? Like, let's be for real. On a on a Wednesday night, when that's probably when stuff starts, on WrestleMania week, all the shows they start Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's be for real. Are you gonna go pay? Are you gonna pay to watch the collective over watching Dynamite?
If I'm in Vegas,
If I'm in Vegas, yeah.
But that's the thing. That's if you are in Vegas. What if you're not
But
in Vegas?
but what's the
Are you still
so
gonna
all right.
pay to watch the collective over
Oh.
But
watching
here
Dynamite?
okay, let's say this,
Chaz,
right?
yes,
What's-
I would.
You
Fuck
ain't know you would
AEW.
not. You're
But
lying.
here's-
Fuck AEW.
You are lying through your teeth.
I
Damien, no,
would
you would
not-
not. You
I
had a
would pay-
fit for buying Revolution 2 years ago.
Exactly. So I'm not
So why
buying.
would you sit and pay $49.99 for indie schmucks you don't even know?
Because I hate AEW that much.
That's
You're a
crazy.
liar.
But
You're a
hater.
fucking no.
You're a
I'm with
hater
Chaz.
for that
You're a
company.
Here's my
Still
point,
will
though,
not
Chaz.
let you spend $49.99 to watch a bunch of schmucks that you know that you can wrestle better than. Get up out of here.
There's a
You made me
there's a
mad
couple of people
already.
in GC.
So
There's a
here's
good
here's
show.
why. But what's stopping? Okay, so let's use ROH, right? The Von Erichs, right? They're on ROH. They're wrestling. Why would you prevent them from going over and wrestling at the collective? People aren't really paying the paywall to go watch ROH like they were. So what are you stopping them from?
They're my talent.
They're young talent.
They're my talent. You get hurt on my watch, not on their watch. Especially after that Hammerstein ballroom show with GCW. And what?
There's
Get
a
up
lot.
out of here.
Yeah, a
I'd
lot
rather you
did
get hurt
happen
on my
there.
watch, not on their watch.
First of
No.
all, okay,
No.
a lot of love
No.
to Allie Catch. Like,
Absolutely. I don't
I'm
know.
happy-
A lot of
I'm
love
hap-
for Alley
I'm
Cat.
happy she's okay.
This is my take. That comment has no mean to disrespect Allie and to make light of her situation and everything that's going on. But to be here and sit up here and say GCW handled that the right way is completely asinine because they did not. Alley Catch is still over here on social media plugging GoFundMe's and other stuff so to help her make ends meet. So no, like
I mean, I
I'd
do
rather you
understand that
get
part.
hurt. And rather you get hurt on my watch, let me properly give you what you need and in order so you can be comfortable during this difficult time because now you're hurt, which means now, you can't work. And let's just say, like some wrestlers who have a shoot job that may hinder you from doing your shoot job. Let me make sure you're well taken care of. Is GCW doing that?
No.
Can GCW afford to do that?
Well, that's not
exactly.
But my point is,
So
though,
why
is that-
have my talent who are on Max, okay? Not
all of them.
IWTV,
not all of them.
not okay, fine. Even in Honor Club, I put Honor Club over IWTV or put it over Fight or put it over or whatever the other streaming services that run independent wrestling. Why would I put those guys on your $9.99 bullcrap subscription to get hurt, and then now I can't use them for my stuff? No, absolutely not. I don't see a problem with it.
I do.
I just like, as the wrestler in me, I get why that's a bummer, and I'm like, well, screw you, the wrestler in me. But
Business-wise, I understand it. Like, you're making a great point.
Absolutely not.
Oh, no,
I
you're
don't
making
see-
a
I
great
don't
point.
see
Yeah,
a big
valid.
deal about it. Like,
But you know
no.
what? It's still fuck you.
My thing is this though. No, you know what it is? It's because 5 years ago, Tony was like, "Oh yeah, y'all
That's
can go
2020.
do
We were in
it."
a pandemic. pandemic.
Yeah,
My,
no.
no,
But
no,
You
no.
can't
From
do that,
jump,
Damien. We were in a
from the
pandemic
jump,
5 years ago.
from
No.
the
We
jump,
couldn't even
from jump.
wrestle.
Look, from jump, he's been like, "Oh yeah, go do
From,
what you want, and
they're
it's
still doing
okay."
indie shows. It's just wrestle. It's 1 week. Not even 1 week. It's 3 freaking days.
But the
It's
thing is, though,
he's
is that
being
think about how many
selective.
shows
They're still doing
run.
House of Glory. They're still doing
Yo,
Mid
but
South.
that
They're
week,
still doing all the other
okay.
shows.
Hold on,
Like,
Chaz. Hold
you
on,
can
hold
still
on,
go
hold
see
on.
Ricky Starks if you're so goddamn mad. Go see
Take
Ricky
it.
Starks in House of Glory.
Take a deep breath before you have an aneurysm. Here's the thing.
No, because it's not that deep.
It
It
is
is.
100%. Hey, to some of these wrestlers, it is though, man. Because like, listen,
They weren't getting paid anyway. They weren't wrestling anyway.
if you're somewhere like we literally were just talking about how important it was for WrestleMania to be crossing into the mainstream, literally at the beginning of this program. Okay, so if we know all those a lot of those wrestling fans go watch other indie shows, which means those wrestlers
They're
are
TV
getting
talent. They don't need to
paid.
be on there. Let
See,
the
now
other
you
independent workers
just
work.
you keep
They're
keep
TV
caveat
talent.
and everything.
They're TV talent.
But some of
Let
these
their
TV talent,
sign.
they put on
They got
TV. They
contracts.
only get
They
paid if
don't
they go on
need
TV,
They don't need the exposure.
bruh.
Let the
They
other
only
indie
get
talent
paid.
go
Some of
work
these
WrestleMania week. It's
some of
not
these
his
talent
week.
only get paid if they're on TV.
Then that sucks to suck.
So why we stopping these young kids from being able to work on their craft?
Right?
They got AEW contracts. That's the difference.
Then why would
They are
then
still
why
signed under the AEW brand. You still got $1 billion company backing you.
then why
I
would
would
you
rather. Hey, shout out to my boy Rico Hendricks. I would rather see Rico Hendricks working WrestleMania week than go seeing, I don't know, Hook or seeing some random ROH guy. Sorry, not sorry. Let the other indie talent who've been working their butts off for 365 days, grinding their butts off to make it, let them have their moment. That's what WrestleMania week is for. It's for the independent talent,
Rich is
not
about to lose
the
his mind.
signed talent, not the talent who got contracts. No, no. You mad? You shouldn't have signed the contract. Go be an indie worker
Well, I
like
still
the
think
rest of us, and then go get signed by WWE and go work NXT and make your way. Like, man, no.
I think I think
Well,
he being petty. I'm sorry.
no,
I
he's
don't.
not. He's been
He
a
is.
smart businessman.
He's
No,
being
because
petty.
he's had a lot.
He is being petty.
Look at 2024 and how many of his main event stars were injured in 2024.
On
Let's
his
keep
product.
it
So okay, well
Let's
let's say
keep
this.
it
Yeah.
a bean.
But look
Right
at
on his
WWE.
product. So
But
let
okay.
them get. So let them
Well,
get
wait a
hurt on
minute.
my
Wait a
product.
minute. So WWE lets Shayna Baszler and Charlie Dempsey go wrestle on GCW's Bloodsport.
We're
Guess what
talking
happened?
about WWE.
But
That's not.
what happened? What happened? My point being, what happened? They didn't get injured. They didn't get
Right, they
get
didn't.
smoked
Thank
out.
God.
What was the other dude's name? The dude from the Creed brothers also wrestled on the same show. They got the opportunity to wrestle to work on their craft and stuff like that. I'm just
That's
saying.
WWE.
I'm just saying. Same thing that AEW has these young guys on the roster
And
who
then that
aren't
wasn't
getting as many
WrestleMania
reps.
week. That was a different week. That was what?
First of all,
Whatever the other
that
pay-per-view.
was WrestleMania week when Shayna Baszler
was.
showed up to Bloodsport.
It was.
It was Blood.
very much
So
so.
yeah.
Oh,
So
you're right. I
anyway,
was thinking my MVP. My bad.
my point
That's
being
what it was.
though is that AEW has these young guys on the roster and they don't get to work all the time. So what they need to be doing is getting out on the street and out on these indie shows and working. And so if you want to better the product, then you need to have your talent going in there and getting the reps in. We talk about it all the time. Reps is
So
what
what's the
matters,
problem
right?
with them working any other week besides April what? 16, 17,
Big
18?
money, big money comes in at WrestleMania.
Big
Yeah.
money.
We literally
Big
literally
money.
call
They're on. What do you?
we
so,
literally call WrestleMania the Super Bowl of wrestling. So why would we stop workers
So you
from
think
working?
these indie companies have got big money?
We looking at the
They're gonna.
collective. Yeah,
They're making some money.
Okay.
you got a lot of fans that come. I mean, you got a lot of
Yeah.
See.
A
Yo.
collective. I just I'm so anti GCW.
I understand
Why
that, and
though?
I look, I get it, and I'm not mad at you for it.
What? No,
My
I
thing
no, I
is
have
this though.
okay. We were way over our time. I don't give a
We
damn.
are over time. I
What
was trying to
what in the
end it.
hell? What in the hell? Wait. What is the problem with GCW?
Yeah, what is the problem with
I
GCW?
just
I
Yeah,
don't.
mean, it's
Chaz.
different.
If it's
It's
one
different if
person,
I don't like it.
I can understand why
It's
you
not
have
just
a problem.
It's not just one person. It's more.
Uh,
I
It's
think
multiple
Brett is
people.
running like a really great. Brett runs continuously. He's feeding a
So
lot of wrestlers.
yeah,
Like
Brett. On the other hand, Brett's a piece of the POS.
wow,
Uh,
what did he do to you? Did
he
he
didn't
not
do
book
anything
you?
to me. That's the problem. Well, yeah, you're right. He didn't book me. You're right. That's actually, you know what that
That's
is.
the is that the problem? Is that the real problem?
Low key, yeah, low key. Because I should have been on For the Culture last year. I should be on For the Culture this year. And am I on For the Culture this year? No,
Did you
I'm not.
try?
I'm 99th best tag team wrestler in this world.
that's
I don't
not
need to
that's not what
try.
we
Okay,
asked.
that's not what
That's
I
not what
I
we.
asked.
don't
That's not
Yeah.
what
need to
we
try.
asked. That's not what we
Before
asked.
you do, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get on the show this year.
Damn.
It's going to probably be because of me.
It's gonna be because well that's great because I'm glad I know now because I need to go book a flight to Vegas because my original Vegas plan fell through. So I
I
was
heard
going and
about
then
that
I'm not.
one. I heard about
So
that.
oh
That's
yes.
crazy.
So
But
all
it
right,
is what it
look,
is.
yeah, that's just final
My
thoughts
all
on
right,
that.
look, I guess this is the reason why I said all of that. It's just the point is my point is this. Like I'm being serious. He like literally has been switching up like a 12-year-old girl on her period. Like it's like 1 minute he's like, "Oh yeah, this is cool." Next minute, "Oh no." Like, holding talent hostage. He was letting people go before when he said that if they didn't want to stay there. Now he's keeping them and then keeping them against their will and knowing that they don't want to be there. Like my point is like you said one thing, keep that same energy, don't switch up.
Right. I mean, I
You
get that.
switching
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
because you're fucking stressed and you're like your dad probably told you to go to rehab, so you're not doing as much cocaine as you were doing before. So, you're getting irritable. That's what happens.
I mean, when you're looking at when you look at some of these mistakes that are happening, right? Like Ray Phoenix not getting his release. You're looking at Ricky Starks not getting released, Britt Baker not getting released, right?
Miro!
Miro not getting released, Aleister Black, right? Like you're looking at all these talent that's just getting hung up, and you said you weren't going to hold these talent back, and we watched you legitimately. Kylie Ray had a mental breakdown, asked for a release, and you released her, right? And I know there was some other aspects to it. I don't want to get into all of it, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
like this is one thing that happened. She asked for a release, you gave her a release, right? And this was back in we can call it 2020, right? Nonetheless, these are things that are happened, and you have said this. You've also said that you weren't going to stop talent from working other places. Now all of a sudden we looking 5 years later, you're like, hey, this is a whole this is a whole different company. We're going to stop you from working these indie shows, and they're not really even televised. So what is the deal? Because remember, originally that was the problem, was that these other wrestlers wanted to go work indie shows, and the bigger thing in the contract was if it's televised, you can't be on it. So now all of a sudden we're stopping with these talent from going over and working on these regular shows, WrestleMania week, and you're saying no, you can't work them. That's going against the foundations of what you had set. You had set the bar, and now you're
Yeah.
breaking those bars, and that's the problem.
Yep. Just like Big E broke Kofi and
Oh my
Xavier's heart.
gosh, we're not doing that. All right. All right. All right. All right.
What?
So look.
It's the truth.
Biggie's in the
So
wrong.
we.
Biggie's
All
in the
right. There you
wrong.
go.
Team New Day.
New
So-
Day.
That's the show. There's no vote. because
No
Damien
fucking
just-
vote. It's just
he's-
Tony.
It's just Tony. So there it is.
And this only
Tony
happens
Khan.
every so often when like one person really fucking
I
gets
think
my goat.
I think this is now the second time
I think
that
so.
has happened. And I think the first time was Jericho. You were like,
Yeah.
I don't
it
remember
was.
exactly what he did, but I remember specifically it was Jericho was like, no, there's no vote. Fuck Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go through the comments, y'all. He did. Damien did get me started. Like we were going good. I was literally gonna let him do his spiel, talk about Tony, and I was signing off. I literally had it like I was like, all right, cool. We don't gotta debate it, nothing. I was like, all right, fine. Yeah.
Hey, look, you got to throw a curveball in there every once in a while.
Oh, you threw me all. Yeah, because now we're like 20 minutes over. All right, look.
I'm already in hell, buddy. Especially when you have me go on fucking Twitter.
I mean, it
Make
is what
sure
it
you
is.
check out Now Enter the Ring this Saturday. Cliff, who's coming on this Saturday?
Post game.
Post game. All right, those three guys, they're coming on this week, this Saturday. So check out that interview. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. 3Count Pod, 3Count Pod _ on Twitter X. That's the only thing that's different, but everything else is 3Count Pod. The Villains Lounge next week. Royal Rumble, be there. All right, we will be there.
Stay tuned for the news with me and Twitch.
That's right.
We're gonna
Villains
cover the
Lounge
weekly news this coming up week.
So next
Hey,
Thursday,
look.
be on the lookout for that. 9 p.m. ish around that time. We will be lookout for our social media platforms when we give you a definite time, but be on the lookout around the 9 p.m. Eastern time frame. And any other announcements you guys got before?
Yeah, if y'all got
I
some
send this off?
stories that we might miss, man, hit it up on our Twitter. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. 3Count Pod _ 3Count Pod everything else. With that being said, my Xbox users, you get an achievement. My PlayStation users, you get a trophy.
He's back
My
on this
PC
shit.
users, you have fun with that. And with that, debates have been settled. Temps have been checked, and dumbasses have been called out. See you next week on Chaz and Friends. Holla at your boy!
Wow, that was loud.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of the 3Count Podcast. If you like this and you want more 3Count Podcasts, go on over to our YouTube page, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you never miss when we put out a video. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, all things social media, 3Count Pod _ X, 3Count Pod, everything else. Also, make sure you buy our merch at foryourwear.com and prowrestlingtees.com. Also, you know what? Just watch another video right now. Like, right now, I'm going to walk away and you're going to play another video.